Hi everyone, I had to do this quick video because there's big news from Elon Musk. On Friday, he tweeted, "Adjusting the Boring Company plan. All tunnels and Hyperloop will prioritize pedestrians and cyclists over cars. We'll still transport cars, but only after all other personalized mass transit needs are met. It's a matter of courtesy and fairness. If someone can't afford a car, they should go first." This is a shift from his original plan, where cars would be the primary vehicles traveling through his underground tunnels. That plan received a lot of criticism from planners and transit advocates. What does this planner think of Elon's change of course? Stay tuned to find out. So maybe I should give you a little background before I go any further. For those who are unfamiliar, Elon Musk, founder of SpaceX, the rocket company, Tesla, the car company, and SolarCity, the solar company, has founded the Boring Company. This company will build narrow tunnels underneath cities that will carry cars and now public transit vehicles underground and pop up at thousands of destinations the size of parking spaces. It's like science fiction come to life, and it looks pretty cool, to be honest. The Boring Company also makes other, hopefully unrelated products. This sounds like amazing science fiction, zooming through tunnels so fast that a 45-minute drive only takes 5 minutes. It's amazing, and if anybody could build something like this, it's Elon. I don't doubt that he could do it. I just question whether or not he really needs to. Here's how Elon puts the problem that he's trying to solve with these tunnels. The Boring Company website states, to solve the problem of soul-destroying traffic, roads must go 3D, which means either flying cars or tunnels. Now I have to give him some credit. That's some great framing right there. Roads must go 3D, as if there's no other option. But he's right though, if you want to add more cars, you have to add more lanes of road. It's politically unfeasible to destroy more neighborhoods to widen roads and highways, so his solution is to go underground. This is the solution you would expect the founder of a car company to make. He's thinking, how can I put more cars on our streets? City planners think, how can we move people in cities more efficiently, not cars? Cars are one way to move people, but they take up a lot of space on streets per person. You may have seen this graphic or something like it that shows the space it takes to accommodate the same amount of people in different vehicles. The point is, obviously, you can transport a lot more people on streets if they are not in cars. This is why you hear city planners talking a lot about transit, bikes, and pedestrians. They just take up so much less space. If we can create cities where more people can use these modes of transportation, we need a lot less cars, and we don't need an elaborate privately built and operated tunnel system. In addition, adding more lanes to the road actually creates more traffic. It's a phenomenon known as induced demand. Sure, traffic may go down initially, but as people realize that there's less traffic on roads, they're going to start making more trips, clogging up the roads again. So this brings us to Elon's most recent announcement that his system is going to start prioritizing pedestrians and cyclists using personalized mass transit. Personally, I think this is a step in the right direction, though it's probably a lot easier and cheaper just to dedicate transit-only lanes and use buses like we already have. I think it's also interesting that he's admitted that transit should come first, and it might put him on a slippery slope to reinventing subways. I think the most challenging component of his scheme is the parking space size stops, which he plans to build by the thousands. Cutting a tunnel through the street where there's electrical, communication, water, and sewer lines will prove to be extremely costly and time-consuming, and no engineering magic will change that. Not to mention the big political hurdle of giving away public space to a private entity. If he needs to cut costs on the project, making fewer stops would probably be the easiest way to do that. So now you have fewer stops, and if you're going through the trouble of building a shaft, why not make it like 2 or 3 parking spaces long? You could build bigger transit vehicles to match and carry more people. So now you have buses. And since you have fewer stops and more people per vehicle, it might make sense to operate them on routes, rather than going from point to point. And you can see where I'm going with this. So again, time will tell, and I'm not betting against Elon Musk's technical acumen or ambition. But I am saying there are probably easier and cheaper ways to deal with congestion than by building a huge network of subterranean tunnels. Let's start by building roads that accommodate all users, including efficient ones like transit, walking, and cycling. Thanks so much for watching, and if you're new here, check out some of the other videos on this channel. They're all about city planning, and I'm sure you'll love them. And if you do, consider subscribing.